This is how I realized that I am autistic. After learning more and more about ADHD and then eventually being diagnosed, the people that are around me that were also ADHD, I realized that there wasn't always the same experience. And I felt there was a lot of ways that we clashed, and there was a lot of things that didn't kind of seem the same. When I then first took ADHD medication, at first it was great for a few days, but then I realized that this really doesn't work for me, and it would trigger me in several ways. Like, I could be very hyperactive, very verbal, but then there was those times where I really needed to shut off, and I would get very, very irritated, and I'd get overwhelmed by my surroundings. And that's one of the biggest things, because that then leads into the ADHD medication. When I started taking the medication, the first few days, great, that real buzz and kind of helped me to feel kind of more level and focused, but it triggered all of the things that I experienced as an autistic person. Sensory overload, feeling, burnt out. Those things became so much more apparent because this medication, for me, helped to intensify those things. I've tried several ADHD medications now. I don't take them anymore, but because I know that it's not just that that's going on. This prompted me at that time to look into other things, to look back at my experience, to analyze myself in relation to autism. And I found out so many things about myself that I couldn't believe I'd missed. Things like hyperlexia as a child, stimming as a child, meltdowns at school, literally every other day, to the point I'd be dragged off the playground at school. Struggle in lots of different situations with authority, with rules, without clarity, feeling as if it was often things weren't explained to me and I didn't understand them, but there was this issue. I was super intelligent, but I was often held back by that lack of clarity. So the fact that the right information wasn't given to me in a way that was right for me was stopping me from reaching my potential in so many ways. There's lots of different things, and this isn't the only things that made me kind of come to that conclusion and then, seek the diagnosis that I now have, but that's where it started. And I think it's important to note that just because, something else is going on in your life doesn't mean that it isn't just ADHD if you are diagnosed ADHD or believe you're ADHD. It's looking at those patterns. And if there is enough of a pattern to think, hang on, there's something going on here, or there's something in my experience I've not realized, that's when you should look back at your experience, especially as a young person, because it's important for that to be there, and then do a lot of research. If you'd like me to talk about any parts of this experience and my experience as an autistic person, please drop a comment.